I got to roll with my YouTube mortal enemy, Tyler Spangler. Just kidding, Tyler and I are actually friends and even host Jiujitsu training retreats together. But sometimes I see comments acting as if we have beef, which I find pretty funny. Tyler is a YouTuber and a black belt with really good wrestling and a really good guillotine. This was one of the last rolls of the retreat. After a fun but exhausting week, training twice a day and spending a lot of time in the sun and in the ocean. So neither one of us had a lot of energy for this roll, but I did my best to fight through the fatigue. I wanted to film the roll earlier on in the week when we were both fresh, but Tyler had a bit of an injury to his leg and wanted to wait a bit to give it more time to heal. Despite having very little energy, it still turned out to be a pretty awesome roll. Before we start, let's take a moment to talk about an important topic, the topic of mental health. How have you been lately? A lot of things going on, right? Same here. Taking care of my family, my YouTube channel, my gyms, my training, and a bunch of other things can stress me out quite a lot. Life will always pose new challenges and stressors, but sometimes the weight of it all can feel like too much. It can be tough for me to regulate my motivation and consistency for always making the best content possible. I'm a perfectionist, and the pressure I put on myself can take quite a toll on my mental health, which is why talking to a therapist can be a great decision, as they can help you deal with all that stress. I know that this has certainly been the case for me. BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video, makes starting therapy easier and much less intimidating for a lot of people. BetterHelp is great because you can have therapy sessions as a phone call, as a video chat, or even messaging, whatever's the most comfortable version of therapy for you. To get started, fill out the questionnaire that'll ask you questions about what challenges you're going through and what kind of therapist that you'd like. And then BetterHelp can match you to a therapist to help you. Join over 4 million people who have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier, happier life. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/JTJJ or choose Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu during sign up and you'll get 10% off your first month. We start on the ground. As I have no energy to wrestle, I pull half guard, which turns into a reverse de la Hiva as Tyler transitions to more of a standing position. My objective is to position both my legs to the inside, as that's where I do my best work, which is why I hook the instep of my outside leg onto Tyler's shin to position it on the inside. I now elevate Tyler and push his body away to force as much of his weight as possible onto his hands, which makes his legs light. I now shoot my left leg behind him to enter the saddle. I start fishing for the heel hook, but remember that his left leg is compromised, so I abandon it as I don't want to be cheap. Instead of attacking his leg and just use it as a sweep, I'm trying to smash Tyler's legs to the side for a side smash. But with his right arm supporting our weight and his left arm framing on me, he's able to keep me off of him and perform a technical stand-up to get back to a standing position. I try to come around to his back as he does, but I'm unable to beat his frame, which is keeping me away. Now I'm forced to wrestle. We grip fight for a bit, and as Tyler takes an underhook, I take an overhook and attack an Uchimata, which fails. So I transition to the knee tap to chain my attacks together. But Tyler snatches up my neck as I do. And again, he's got a really good guillotine. So my priority is to fight the hands to keep my neck safe. I break his grips and I drop to my butt, as right now I'd rather fight from my guard. Tyler's doing a great job keeping my left foot off of him and preventing me from getting it on the inside. I start to push Tyler away to make some space, and as he drops his head down, I try to snatch up a guillotine for myself. As I lose it, I think about wrestling up, but see that Tyler has a guillotine waiting, so I back out to stay safe. I use the momentum of falling back and lift Tyler forward, trying to get underneath his hips, but Tyler counters by also using the momentum to try to hit a rolling front headlock. A pretty similar sequence to when I rolled with Chewy, where I used the momentum of him lifting me forward against him to enter the front headlock. There's a bit of a scramble and I hit a knee tap on Tyler, but as I do, my head falls right into his armpit and exactly where he needs it to guillotine me. Immediately, I circle my head out of his armpit and onto his chest to keep my neck safe. Tyler again performs a technical stand-up, but this time I beat that frame. Immediately I take a body lock and take his back with a mat return, another sequence very similar to my roll with Chewy. I have a top hook, but not a bottom hook, and without the bottom hook, I risk Tyler sliding his back off my chest and hiding it on the mat. So I pull Tyler to the other side, so my top hook becomes my bottom hook. One thing that I noticed Tyler is really good at is fighting hooks using his hands, while also keeping his neck safe, which can be a risky thing to do if you're not good at it. This is something that Preet Mikkelsen is also very good at, and I have more content coming soon with Preet. Tyler did a great job ridding me of my hooks, but I do still have a body lock. But I've regressed my control and positioning by losing my hooks. Tyler stands up, and to keep him immobilized, I drive my weight forward to force Tyler's hands on the mat and force him into the quad pod. To bring him back down to the mat, I insert the instep of my right foot behind him to trip him backwards and back into my back control. I'm very low on the back and I don't have great position with my chest on his back, so I transition to the truck, where I don't need chest to back connection. But Tyler turtles before I can secure better positioning with the truck. I could potentially roll over my right shoulder and hit a rolling back attack as Tyler sits through, but I play it safe by staying on top and taking top half guard. My priority is to keep my left leg positioned in front of Tyler's right knee to prevent him from being able to use it as a frame to keep me away or put me in close guard. We're at the edge of the mat and figure this is a good position to reset closer to the center. Rather than the crossface, what I've really been preferring lately to pass half guard is the near side underhook, as I find it does a better job of immobilizing the bottom player. It better prevents the bottom player from lifting you forward using their legs. For example, here I lose my near side underhook and I'm lifted forward. Although it's not a perfect example, because in this clip I didn't have a crossface either. Tyler does a good job fighting off my near side underhook, but eventually I get it. And once I do, I immediately step over to mount. I cross my feet underneath his legs and drive my hips down to pin Tyler's hips to the mat. For most escapes, he would first need to grip fight my feet to take away that inside position and the control that I have with it. Tyler's doing a great job defensively and preventing me from getting meaningful upper body control. He's becoming less pinned as he gets more onto his side, which is why I post my hands on the mat. I'm pushing off my hands so I can better drive my hips into his hips. I need to get something going, so I open up a bit with the hope of catching Tyler making a mistake as he defends. But I open up too much and make too much space, and Tyler gets his frames on the inside, forcing me to abandon position. I sit to my guard because again, I have zero energy to wrestle, and again Tyler does a great job of keeping my feet from entering the inside. So I change up my attack and grab his leg to enter K-guard. I try to enter a calf slicer with it, but he slips his leg out, so instead I pull him into my lap, very similar to a Kiss of the Dragon or Baby Bolo. I get his back again, and this time put him in a body triangle. I'm having a hard time finding openings for submissions. He's definitely solid defensively, so I flatten him out, hoping that it'll force him to create an opening as he fights out of it, but no luck. I had a great time training and rolling with Tyler. Let me know what YouTuber or even competitor that you'd like to see me roll with next, and I'll do my best to make it happen. If you'd like to watch Tyler's commentary on this roll, then watch this video.